After cooking dinner for 12 people, Vanessa, my sister-in-law, announced loudly, without hesitation, we should just order takeout next time. At least it'll be edible. Derek, my husband, snorted. Just a dismissive puff of air through his nose. I looked around the room, searching for anyone to speak up for me. Silence. No one defended me. So I stood, pulled off my stained apron, and said with every ounce of calm fury I could muster, next time, you can all pay for takeout too, because I'm done. They laughed, but they stopped laughing when I started canceling every single holiday reservation that had my name on it. Let me take you back to that night, Thanksgiving. Vanessa's words are etched into my mind, playing on repeat like a curse. We should just order takeout next time. At least it'll be edible. I had just pulled a second turkey, yes, second, out of the oven. My feet were screaming, my back felt like it might snap, and I hadn't sat down all day. I was sweating through my shirt, and the only thing I'd eaten was a dry corner of cornbread I swiped while plating. And then she said that, and Derek laughed. Not even a full laugh, just a snort, but that was all it took. It wasn't about the turkey. It wasn't about the stuffing. It was about how I was expected to labor in silence while they arrived, sat down, and demanded perfection, without the decency to say thank you. So I stood up. I took off my apron, and I said it loud enough for them all to hear. Next time, you can pay for takeout too, because I'm done. Then I walked away. You know what they did? They laughed. Derek didn't follow me, didn't say a word. I poured myself a glass of red wine and leaned against the kitchen counter. No one came in to check on me. No one offered to help with the dishes. They just kept eating. Vanessa cracked some joke I couldn't hear over the sound of the football game someone turned on. I was invisible. That's when something inside me snapped. That night, I said nothing. Not when the last car pulled out of the driveway. Not when Derek climbed into bed and said nothing. I rolled over, back turned. He didn't apologize. The next morning, I didn't clean up. He wandered into the kitchen, glanced at the chaos, and asked, "Are we doing leftovers for lunch?" I looked him dead in the eye and said, "I'm not touching a single dish. Eat whatever you want." Then I got dressed and walked out the door. I drove to the park, sat in my car, and just breathed. For the first time in years, I let myself feel. The anger wasn't just about last night. It was about every time Vanessa rolled her eyes at me, every time Derek's mother nitpicked my efforts, and every time Derek said nothing. I was done pretending. They didn't understand that I wasn't just the cook. I was the architect of the holidays. Every family gathering over the last 5 years had my fingerprints all over it. The cabins, I booked them. The rental cars, I arranged them. The menus, the matching pajamas, the secret Santa lists. That was all me. I made the holidays happen, and they just showed up. So I opened my laptop and started canceling, one by one, like toppling dominoes. First, the Christmas cabin in Asheville, gone. Second, the beach house on Amelia Island for New Year's, canceled. Third, the elegant Easter brunch at that high-end place in Sarasota. I called and told them to give our table away. At first, no one noticed. Then, a week later, Vanessa texted, "Hey, can you send the address for the cabin? Trying to plan our drive. Iraplia, no cabin." I canceled it. I'm not planning anything anymore. Feel free to make your own arrangements. No response. 3 hours later, Derek came home and said, "Why is Vanessa freaking out about Christmas?" I said, "Because she assumed I'd still do everything, even after the way she treated me." He sat down on the couch, rubbed his face, and said, "You could have at least told people." I stared at him. "You mean the way you stood up for me when your sister mocked me at the dinner table?" He didn't have an answer. December 24th came. Usually by then, the tree would be glowing, the guest room freshly made, and we'd be elbow deep in sugar cookie dough with Vanessa's kids. This year, nothing. No lights. No music. No muddy. Just the low hum of the dishwasher and the stifling silence between Derek and me. He asked, without much conviction, "Are we still doing gifts with my family?" I said, "No." I didn't draw names. They can figure it out. Christmas Day came and went. Derek's mom tried to host. No one volunteered to help, and the food was tragic. Frozen lasagna, a wilted salad, store-bought cookies on a flimsy tray. I saw the whole mess unfold on Facebook. No stacking, no matching outfits, just blurry, tired faces. Vanessa posted a photo of her kids eating pizza with the caption, "Not the same without our usual holiday magic." Damn right it wasn't. After that disaster of a Christmas, I thought, maybe now they understand. Maybe someone will call. Maybe Derek will sit me down and ask, finally, how I really feel. He didn't. He acted like the ruined holidays were some freak accident, like I was just being too emotional. One night in mid-January, while we were brushing our teeth, I looked at him in the mirror and asked, "Do you even care that your family disrespected me? That you laughed when they mocked the dinner I spent all day making?" He didn't even glance at me. He spit, wiped his mouth, and muttered, "It was a joke. You're taking it too seriously." Part 2. I asked Derek point blank while we were brushing our our teeth. No preamble, no soft entry. Do you even care that your family disrespected me? That you laughed when they mocked my cooking? He didn't even glance at me, just spit into the sink, wiped his mouth, and muttered, "It was a joke. You're taking it too seriously." Right then I knew I was alone in my marriage. That realization cut deeper than anything Vanessa ever said. Her words were sharp. Yes, but this was abandonment. This was betrayal without even the decency to look me in the eye. So I stopped showing up. February rolled around. Vanessa's youngest had a birthday party. I didn't go. Derek went alone. When he came home, he tossed a paper plate on the counter with a stale piece of cake and said, "They asked where you were. I told them you were still mad." I looked him straight in the face and said, "No, I'm not mad. I'm finished." And I meant every syllable. Mid-March, Vanessa's oldest, Gracie, texted me, "Andy, are you mad at us? I miss the stuff we used to do." That cracked something inside me. Gracie was 15. She used to help me peel sweet potatoes every Thanksgiving. She always said thank you, always gave me hugs. I never blamed her. So I replied, "I'm not mad at you, sweetie. I'm just taking a step back from the adults who treated me badly."
She didn't respond.
But 2 hours later, Vanessa sent a single line, "Don't drag my kid into this." I took a long breath, then typed back, "Then maybe teach your kid to treat people better than you do." No response. But of course, she posted a vague status online later that day. Some people love making drama out of nothing. Always have to ruin the fun. Classic Vanessa. Then came April, our 10th anniversary. 10 years. A whole decade. We'd always done something for it. Savannah, Charleston, once even a weekend in the mountains. This year, I said nothing. I wanted to see if Derek would even remember. The night before, he walked in with a wilted grocery store bouquet and a bottle of cheap wine. "Happy anniversary," he said, handing them over like he was giving paperwork to a coworker. No card. No plans.
No emotion.
I stared at the flowers. "This is what 10 years means to you." He shrugged. "We've had a rough few months. I didn't think you'd be up for anything."
You didn't ask, I said.
He rolled his eyes. "You've been cold since Thanksgiving. You act like I cheated or something." And there it was. "No," I said. "You didn't cheat, but you showed me exactly how little I matter to you." He scoffed, tossed the wine on the table.
Jesus, o pau.
"It was one joke. You've turned it into a war." "No," I said calmly. "The war started when I realized no one would ever fight for me." A week later, his mother called. "Sweetheart," she cooed. "It's been long enough, don't you think? Holidays bring out the worst in all of us. We say things we don't mean." She meant it, I said flatly. Vanessa's always meant it. That wasn't new. That was just the first time you all said it out loud. She sighed. "Well, we're planning a summer barbecue. Why don't you and Derek come? Clean slate." I paused. "Only if Vanessa apologizes." Silence. "Let's not make this about pride," she said. I hung up. Funny, isn't it? How people treat you when they think you'll always stay, when they believe you'll just swallow the insults, do the work, laugh at the jokes, and smile for the camera. But the moment you stop, really stop, they fall apart. By May, the family group chat, Derek sighed, was practically a ghost town. It used to ping all day long. Photos of birthday cakes, who's bringing what, chaotic memes about Thanksgiving disasters. That chat was mine. I had created it. I even named it the circus. Everyone thought it was cute. Now, just Vanessa asking, "Anyone want to host July 4th? 2 days later, we could do it at our place. But not if I'm the only one cooking again." Still silence. Finally, Derek's cousin Jason responded, "Honestly, not up for anything this year. Just not the same vibe." I took a screenshot. Saved it. Early June, I ran into Vanessa at the grocery store. No warning, just turned into the baking aisle. And there she was, holding a bag of sugar. She looked up, froze for half a second, then forced that tight, performative smile. "Hey, stranger," she chirped. I nodded, tried to push past. "You know," she said, blocking the aisle with her cart, "the family really misses you, especially Mom. It's not the same without your touch." I said nothing. I wasn't playing her game. Then she tilted her head and added, like she was the victim, "But I guess we all got tired of walking on eggshells." That made me laugh. Almost. I looked her dead in the face. "You weren't walking on eggshells," I said. "You were throwing them." She blinked. That got to her. Just for a second. "Whatever," she muttered, moving her cart. I let her go, but my hands were shaking. Not from fear. From rage. That she could stand in a grocery store and try to gaslight me like none of this started with her. That night, I told Derek. Not because I thought he'd care, but because I wanted to see his reaction. He sighed like I'd asked him to take out the trash. God, are we still on this? That was it. No defense. No support. No care. So I asked him, "Do you even realize what I gave up for your family? Every holiday, every plan, every tradition. We had it because I built it, and when they mocked me, you laughed. You didn't stand up for me. You didn't even check on me." He looked annoyed, like I was ruining his evening.
"So what now?" he said.
"You going to hold this over everyone's head forever?" "No," I said. "I'm going to hold it over mine and decide how much more I want to carry." Then came July. My birthday landed on a Saturday. I didn't expect fireworks or a banner, but I thought maybe Derek would plan something small, something just for us. Instead, I woke up to a text from his mother. "Happy birthday. Hope Derek treats you well today." I laughed out loud. Of course. Part 3. I sacrificed every holiday, every plan, every tradition for his family. Everything we had, I built it. And when they mocked me, he laughed right along with them. He didn't defend me. He didn't even check if I was okay. He just looked irritated, like I was the problem. "So what now?" he asked, arms crossed. "You gonna hold this over everyone's head forever?" "No," I said quietly. "I'm going to hold it over mine and decide how much longer I'm willing to carry this weight." Then came July. My birthday fell on a Saturday. I didn't expect a grand gesture, but I thought maybe something, just the two of us. Something small, thoughtful. Instead, I woke up to a text from his mother. "Happy birthday. Hope Mark treats you well today." I laughed. Actually laughed, because Mark had forgotten. Nothing was planned. He mumbled that he'd take me out later. When I asked if he'd made a reservation, he shrugged. "You're picky. Figured you'd want to choose." That night, I took myself out. I drove to a place I used to love. Before the hurt dulled my appetite. Sat on the patio alone, ordered wine and 2 courses. When the waiter asked, "Are you celebrating anything?" I said, "Yes." The day I stopped living for people who never valued me. I went home, packed a suitcase, and slept in the guest room. The next morning, I told Mark, "I'm going to stay with my sister for a while." He barely looked up from his phone. "If that's what you want," he said.
So I left.
Her guest room was small, but it had something my house hadn't seen in years. Peace. No tension humming through the walls. No passive aggression over morning coffee. Just me, a suitcase, and a decision. At first, Mark didn't take it seriously. Thought I just needed space. A few days passed, then a week, then 3. I never called, never texted. He sent one message. "You've made your point. Can we talk now?" I didn't reply. Instead, I made a list of what was mine, of what I built, of what I would no longer tolerate. By mid-August, I filed for divorce. Mark was stunned, called nonstop, left voicemail after voicemail. "I didn't mean for it to get this far. Can't we try counseling or something?" Too late. I'd been in counseling for 6 months. He never noticed. After I filed, his family unraveled, but not at me, at each other. His mother called, crying. Said she missed me. Said the family wasn't the same. I stayed calm. When your daughter insulted me in front of everyone, and you said nothing, that's when things changed. And when Mark left me alone in it, that's when they ended. She begged me to reconsider. I told her, "You should have taught your children that kindness matters. This is what happens when you don't." She never called again. I didn't plan for it, but in October, Kelly threw a last-minute Halloween gathering. She posted photos. Store-bought candy, flimsy decorations, plastic tablecloths. 3 people showed up. Dale, 1 cousin, and a neighbor kid. No one helped clean. No one brought a thing. The next day, she posted on Facebook. Reminder, appreciate the people who put effort into making things special. You'll miss them when they're gone. I didn't comment, but my sister and I had a good laugh. The divorce dragged on. Mark stalled, hesitated, said he was reconsidering everything, tried to delay signing. In December, he showed up at my sister's door with a box. Inside were old cards, faded photos, pieces of our life. "You can't just erase us," he said. "We had good years." I nodded. "We did, but I didn't erase us." "You did." "That night, when you let them humiliate me at the table, you made it clear where I stood." He looked broken. I didn't feel pity. I felt free. "I'll see you in court," I said. Thanksgiving came around again. This time, I stayed home, alone, made myself a small plate, stuffing, cranberry orange sauce, 1 perfect turkey breast. No eye rolls.
No tensión, no pretending.
Just me. And when I took that first bite, I smiled because it was damn good. And I didn't care who else agreed. Mark lost more than a wife. His family blamed him. Kelly kept her distance. The group chat finally died. No more big dinners. No more matching pajamas. No more forced traditions. And me, I started over. Slowly, reconnected with friends, got a part-time job at a local bakery, started dating again. Nothing serious yet, just enough to remember what it feels like to be seen. Was I perfect?
No.
I should have spoken up sooner, should have set boundaries years ago, but I stayed quiet, thinking that's what good wives do. Good daughters-in-law, good hosts. I learn, and the next time I host a dinner, it'll be for people who bring more than an appetite. This is where our story ends. Dear listeners, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and follow. Thanks for walking with me through this.